Hi everyone, welcome back to Simple Things. Today we'll be looking at it is said that hidden in the Hebrew Torah is a secret code. It is believed that when this code is broken, it reveals significant historical event and shows that the Bible was written by a supernatural source. In this video, we will explore what many believe are codes of Bible language and show how the correct understanding and application of these quote-unquote codes are in fact the keys to unlocking Bible prophecy. In order to lay the framework for this video, let's look at 3 Bible verses. Number 1, 1 Corinthians 2 verse 14, which says, "But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned." Number 2, Ecclesiastes 1 verse 9. "The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun." And number 3, 1 Corinthians 15 verse 46. "Howbeit, that was not first which is spiritual, but that which is natural, and afterward that which is spiritual." In a synopsis, these 3 verses are telling us that spiritual things cannot be understood through our normal human understanding. Furthermore, the events in the Bible first occur in a literal, natural sense. Then, history repeats itself in a prophetic or spiritual manner. Here we can look at the book of Daniel for our example. In chapter 7, for instance, is a beautiful illustration of beasts and horns predicted to take the world stage at a specific time and in a specific order. History shows that all these predictions were fulfilled to a T. However, by the time we get to the book of Revelation, we see the same language being used by John to predict events that, at his time, were yet future. How can we know whether these events have already been fulfilled or are yet to be fulfilled? Well, as is customary on this channel, we'll let the Bible speak for itself. Going back to Daniel 7, we read where Daniel had a dream and visions, where he was shown 4 beasts in succession. From the creation record, we already know that a beast is an animal. The description of the beasts in Daniel's dream and visions, however, clearly does not fit any animal known to man. Let's read verse 7. "After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoureth and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns." An animal with 10 horns? See, that's why I can't be bothered with the Bible thing. It makes absolutely no sense. Many are already saying as they click off this video. But wait, not so fast. Let's break this down using the Bible itself. In verse 8, the unnatural looking animal is personified thus: "I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things." So already this isn't sounding too much like an animal after all, but more like a person. Verses 11 and 12 confirm this. "I beheld then because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake. I beheld, even till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed, and given to the burning flame. As concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and a time." By now we've picked up a few things about this beast. 1, it had great eyes like the eyes of a man. and 2, a mouth that speaks great things, therefore showing that this was no animal. Besides, 3, the other 3 beasts had dominion, which was taken away. So friends, we've established that the beasts of the book of Daniel are no mere animals, but rather have human qualities. But let's say we're still not convinced. If we patiently read the entire chapter, we'll see that further down in verse 16 onwards, I came near unto one of them that stood by, and asked him the truth of all this. So he told me, and made me know the interpretation of the things. Verse 17, these great beasts which are 4 kings which shall arise out of the earth. Verse 19, then I would know the truth of the 4th beast, which was diverse from all the others, exceeding dreadful, whose teeth were of iron, and his nails of brass, which devoured, brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet. And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes, and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them. Thus he said, the 4th beast shall be the 4th kingdom upon earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time. There's our answer. The Bible itself tells us that 1. A beast is a king and his kingdom. Verses 17 and 23. Now remember, in those days, they didn't refer to the head of a nation as a prime minister nor a president, etc. They were called kings. Additionally, a kingdom was not just a single nation, but many nations covering vast regions. And 2, a horn, which is a king or ruler and his rulership. We can now look elsewhere in the Bible to back this up. Remember the story of Hannah, Samuel's mother? She was unable to bear children for her husband Elkanah, who had 2 wives. His other wife bore him children and would taunt poor Hannah simply because she couldn't have any. So Hannah went to the temple and asked Eli the priest to pray for her. God heard Eli's prayer, and when Hannah found out she was about to have Samuel, she declared in 1 Samuel 2, "My horn is exalted in the Lord." Now I try to stay away from paraphrasing scripture, but clearly we can all see the meaning of horn in relation to what we've just looked at in the book of Daniel. In the book of Daniel, Daniel was given a specific time or year in which this prophecy would be fulfilled. But where else in the Bible do we see the same prophetic language being used? That is an indication that the Bible is addressing the same subject, whether in the literal fulfillment or in a spiritual or prophetic application. Hence, when we come over to the book of Revelation, we can be sure that in chapters 13 and 17, John is talking about the same nations that Daniel was shown, some in the actual literal sense and others in a spiritual application, possessing the same characteristics as the literal ones spoken of by Daniel, and in the same progressive order of world events. Now friends, a correct understanding of these prophecies will reveal to us events happening right before our eyes as we speak, and will lead us to a deeper appreciation of the Bible and a greater love for the living God who gave us these prophecies. As I always say, this video is not meant to be an in-depth study on the subjects, Neither is it intended to convince or persuade anyone. I'm merely presenting a basic framework from which you can start your own studies. And when you've done so, please feel free to revisit my channel and leave a comment on your findings. When you are convicted, go right ahead and share my video so that others may also come to understand the time we are currently in and be prepared to withstand the troubles that are about to break upon us and see Jesus when he comes.